Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. I made this video to fulfill my second semester final assignment for English course. First, introduce. My name is ANIS with student ID number. Okay. I will fulfill the first task, namely the imitation technique, the way they are, step 3, on the English YouTube channel. The second, I will explain a little about social norm in my area. Okay, let's talk first imitation technique, step 3.
Have you ever stopped and wondered why things are the way they are?
Have you ever stopped and wondered why things are the way they are?
I find it really fascinating how many things we do in our daily lives that
I found it's really fascinating how many things we do in our daily lives that
are just accepted and they're rarely questioned.
are just accepted and they're really questions.
It's just the done thing.
It's just the done thing.
And if you do something differently,
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 something out of the ordinary,
something out of the ordinary,
it can create confusion
it can create confusion
or angst or frustration among the people around you.
or angst or frustrations among the people around you.
At best, you create minor discomfort.
At best, you create a minor discomfort.
But at worst, you face backlash
But at worst, you face backlash
and you're shunned from your family or your social circle.
and you're shunned for your family or your social circle.
Messing with what is socially acceptable can be brutal.
Messing with what is socially acceptable can be brutal.
But what's accepted and totally normal here
But what's accepted and totally normal here
might be at odds with what's acceptable where you are.
might be at odds with what's acceptable where you are.
And that's why it's so fascinating when two sets of social norms clash.
And that's why it's so fascinating when two sets of social norms clash.
It really makes people confused or awkward because technically,
It really makes people confused or awkward because technically,
in that situation, neither of them is doing anything wrong.
neither of them is doing anything wrong.
They're both doing what's expected of them in their culture.
They're both doing what's accepted of them in their culture.
And that's totally normal.
And it's totally normal.
But the other person is like,
But the other person is like
really shocked.
really shocked.
I'll give you an example.
I'll give you an example.
Here in Australia, it is really common to greet friends with a hug and a kiss.
Here in Australia, it is really common to greet friends with a hug and a kiss.
A kiss.
A kiss.
Now, it's hilarious when you get introduced to an Italian.
Now, it's hilarious when you get introduced to an Italian
or a Brazilian in a social context because
or Brazilian in a social context because
they go in for a double kiss.
They go in for a double kiss.
And some countries it's even a triple kiss.
And in some countries, it's even a triple kiss.
But that little interaction can be so confusing and awkward.
But that little interactions can be so confusing or awkward.
It's the meeting of two different social norms.
It's the meeting of two different social norms.
And I mean, how strange is it when you hear a woman ask a man to marry her?
How strange is it when you hear a woman ask a man to marry her?
Why is that so strange?
Why is that so strange?
It's just not the done thing.
It's just not the damn thing.
It's not the norm.
It's not the norm.
So it confuses us.
So it confuses us.
If you stop and think for a minute, there are so many of these situations. Things that we never question because it's just the way things are.
It's just the way things are. Then the second task, I will explain a little about social norms in my area. Okay, the social norm in my area that I know, to ask when to get married, when to have children, what is your job, how much is your salary, what is your religion, what is your education, your age, your worth, and so on. Why is it not worth asking, especially when meeting new people? Because it is a privacy that not everyone should know about it. Maybe it's enough if there is a mistake or really apologize. Thank you for watching this video. There are many mistakes in this video, so please forgive me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.